Welcome back, everyone. This is our Wink 7. Hope everyone's doing well in the Bunny Hop Blitz. We're nearing the end stretch here, so I just wanted to do my regular little debrief. I'm a little busy later on today, so I won't have too much time to do it like right at the end. Honestly, probably won't even be able to spend the rest of my diamonds. Gonna just try and stack as many of these boosts as I can. That's about it. Just try to burn as many. Just primarily because it is looking like the Legion's going to win this war. We've got most of the top players here that have chosen Legion. Dazul holding down the fort here for the Void. So congratulations to everybody. We'll just do the quick little debrief, then I'll do a scroll through, and then I want to talk a little bit about a chart that I have. I know I've talked about it before, but just to give you guys an idea of what score you're looking at requiring to be able to hit a certain position. So pretty much my game plan as normal was just to hang back, collect some diamonds, and then make a push prior to the first 10x to sort of accumulate power on that 10x. So the first 10x day, which was day 3, I did manage, I think, to get myself into like live rank 6 for a bit, and usually around live rank 7, and as low as like the 30s. So I was sort of in that range, but I did hit like pretty much right before the 10x started, I think into the top 10. So that's what gave me a really good boost. After that day, I was sitting at total rank 11. As you can see, I have slipped quite a bit, though I do still think it's going to be close, but I'm going to be right there around the 50 mark. So hopefully I'm able to hold on to top 50, but we'll see. Now, what my game plan was, I did buy a business off of FFTB Hacker. Not that I requested it from him, just it was the one that I purchased off the market. So I did purchase, this was a quality 1. It was prestige 4 at 450-ish, 451 I think it was. Actually, we can just take a look right here. The market history. So my history, this is what I purchased. And I bought that, I guess, probably about 6. It ended up clearing about 6 hours before the first 10x. So I just power leveled to this using Cool Cats and rode that to live rank 7, 6-ish, somewhere in that area. And it worked pretty well. So you can see I have some Cool Cats set up here that were helping support it for a bit. And then once I hit its max, I needed to actually start building a city, which is where I ended up lucking out. And I pulled this from a blueprint. So it was already quality 2. So I just started working with it. And I also had this business here, which I was working with. I was planning on selling these, but at the moment, nothing that I've got listed is really moving. So I just kind of gave up listing stuff. But yeah, so this was sort of my spearhead. It would be the one that I would push to the first rank. Because I just woke up and had lightning boost stacked pretty much all night last night, I pushed that Museo up to prestige 8 first. This will be, honestly, I probably won't even have time to do this one to prestige 8. And then later on, I also added, and primarily just because I wanted to sell it, but it didn't sell, so then I just put it into my city and put some elements on it just to waste diamonds at this point. But I did grab put this up. It was quality 1. I merged it, got it to quality 2, and now I'm just working with it at this point. It's an alright business as well. So that's sort of what I have for setup. I mean, honestly, I don't need this bank. I'd probably be fine with just my den, Museo, and motors. That's a similar setup that I normally run. I do it in normal mode too, but that's basically what I ended up doing. And then the last little bit was a lot of sales. So, once I hit that rank, I was making some like P5 and P6 sales, and that was pretty much all I really did this comp. So the business that I bought cost me 200 and let's just say 218. I think it was just under 218. Yeah, 21777. I was in a bit of a bidding war with a few people, like Turn Up. He ended up pushing it up. I think there was the one. He was also bidding on it for a while. At least until what I noticed was they had these ones. They saw that it got bid up a bit, and then they just like flooded the market with them at 150. There was like, there was originally only like 3 businesses. There was this, a bank, and a couple, like a really expensive motors, which was like a higher quality. And then there was like about an hour, maybe 2 hours of like bidding on this. And then they just flooded the market with like another 4 of these, like 3 banks, like a bunch of motors, a bunch of museos. So yeah, it was just like, it just got flooded and we ended up having like 3 pages. But I mean, if I would have slept and waited until they did that final release, I don't think I would have been able to push as well as I could have. It might have ended up missing my opportunity. So this one cleared a little later than I wanted, but it cleared at a decent enough time that I was able to make a good push and get into a good rank. Now, when it comes to sales, let me go over to the prize thing here. So this is what we're looking at for the prizes. So you can see a negative number here is actually a positive for me because we've got our buy and then we've got the sales that I've done. So this is everything I've sold. I've done a couple cool cats, as you can see. I was able to sell a couple of arcades pretty early on, as well as some banks and motors that I sold pretty early. And then we had the motors that I sold. I sold an arcade that I leveled up to like P4 for like literally nothing, and then a Leo. So those are the last 2 things that like cleared. But I did sell a couple pretty decent priced ones. Like I leveled up a bank to like I think P5 and sold it. And same with this bank, was like a P5, and this Felice I think I pushed to like P6 and was able to sell it. Pretty close, like to the second 10x day, so people were picking up stuff there. So that worked pretty good, well enough that I was able to make the entirety of the purchase back, plus almost doubled what I did. So that's where I was like, I could have reinvested. I had thought about it. I could have purchased a business, but I was in the middle of a move, so it just really didn't make any sense for me to put more vouchers into it, even though I had some vouchers that I've already made from the comp. It just didn't make sense. I just didn't have time to really play and push. So that's sort of where we're at. Let's just take a quick look through here to get an idea of who's in what standing. So we got FFTB Hacker, as per usual, up here on rank 1. He's definitely secured that. There's no way Darklos is catching him. Then we got Darklos, got Dazul, we've got Mr. Kuki, we've got Meta, we've got a late entrance from Fiend for Crow, as usual. He's usually playing the last 2 days, and he does quite well, picking up quite a bit of businesses and pushing. Got Lightman, we got Treyas and Czar Crypto, and then Edgar Allan Crow making up the top 10. And then here is the rest. It's good to see Crypto Ocean back in playing. He's doing pretty well for, first comp, I think, since the, World Series 2. So over a year ago. So he's getting familiar with some of the new stuff. We'll just scroll through and take a look here slowly at everybody in the top 50. And then I will switch over and talk a little bit about my chart that I've got, just for anybody that is interested and maybe wants to build one themselves, maybe with a bit more detail. So that's what we're looking at for the top 50. I think I have enough room here, being almost 25 or yeah, I have enough points here. I think I've got 25 million points to be able to put me between them. So I think for the most part I should be good to stay in the top 50. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to switch over to live first, and we're going to come back and take a look at this as well. So I've got this competitive table. I've been keeping kind of track of a lot of the big competitions, and now I've just been doing almost every comp, especially if the day for the multiplier changes. So what I do is I've taken rank 1, I've taken rank 10's points, I've taken rank 25's live scores, rank 50's live score, rank 100's live score, rank 250's, and so on and so forth, right? this gives you an idea of if I stayed, let's say for example, if I stayed rank 50 for the entirety of the competition, this is the base that I would be getting. And then we have the multipliers. All right, so we know them as, a 10x and a 15x, but effectively the multiplier is 1 for a normal day, 5 for a 10x, and then 7.5 for your 15x, right? So those are the multipliers I'm using. I mean, I could cut all these numbers in half and then put these at 2. That could also work, but realistically, I just decided to go the easy route. So now what we're looking at when we scroll through here is the points that are accumulated per day and then added up. So this is sort of like a rolling total point per for the day, right? So at the end of the 5x, this is how many points they should have. At the end of this day, and then the end of this final, the 15 or the last day, this is how many points rank 1 should have if they stayed rank 1 the entirety of the competition, right? So that's the key. It's staying rank 1 or staying that rank for the entirety of the competition, and we know that's not how it's normally played, right? Like we look and this is 6.19. If we go back and we see, FFTB Hacker's been sitting in rank 1 for most of it, but he's still missing close to 1 billion points off of the total because we had other people sitting at rank 1 for a good portion of the first day before FFTB Hacker came in and took it over. Right, so he does lose a little bit of points and they get distributed to the lower ranks, which raises these numbers for requirements, which is why you can see here at 183, right, that's my estimate for being rank 50. But if we scroll down to rank 50, we'll see that already it's a little bit above it, right? So Spooners here should have been able to hold rank 50 if he had held it according to my chart. But because of the rank 1 and, the ranks sort of swapping around, the distribution gets a little bit more level loaded across the first, 100 players, depending on how much people are actually playing, like how many people are playing and what's going on. So the estimate does need to be taken to this is the bare minimum. You need to definitely be above this number when it comes to trying to place for that rank, right? So I see here at 183, right, 183 million, that's the total score needed to maintain rank 50. I know I'm at least 2 million or 20 million above that, so I should be able to hold rank 50 unless something massive changes. But essentially that's what I've been doing, is just using this as like a little chart, to a parameter almost, to be like, okay, what are we looking at for rank, and how can I try to make an estimate of the points that are needed. And this works nicely because if you do change the days, right, so like if this became a 5x day over here, then this number would change as well. Everything changes, but it is 1, so we can see the numbers. But yeah, it gives you an idea. So just to make the top 1,000, you only need like 4 million points, which is like next to nothing, right? Like almost anybody could make those 4 million points. Let's just take a scroll down here just for interest's sake to see how many players we do have. So we've almost got 1,300, so 1,292 players. And a lot of these players, you can see they've got some points, right? So these guys have all got, a couple million, 4 million. So this is where I guess it breaks down. So these people do have these millions of points, because even outside of like when you're looking at the live, right? If we scroll down and see, like these people are still accumulating live power, and the people outside of the top 1,000. So like let's take a look here. Let's just say 24 for ease sake, 24k. And then let's go find rank 1,000, and you'll see like it's barely any difference, right? And that's where a lot of these people are going to be sort of stuck in a very similar ranking, and it makes it hard to climb, especially if you're not really getting above, like the 500s. The 500s is where you'll start to see your position move quite more, I would say, than what you would here, because we've already scrolled through 200 people, and we've went up 4 1,000 points, right? Like it's barely went up any. So now we're at about 5,000 points increased to get into the top 1,000. So 5,000 points across that per 10 minutes. You got to remember that. The live power is added every 10 minutes. So let's see who's sitting here. Okay, so we're looking at around 6, right? 6-ish thousand points. But if we go to rank like 500, right? So now we've doubled. We're close to like doubling it, right? And this is where if you can hit one of these positions, you're going to start to see yourself climb a little bit faster. So yeah, where are we at here? So 50, let me just get the dead on 500. So there we go, 55.4 or 84. But yeah, so we can go back, take one more look at this chart. And like I said, it's not 100% accurate just because of how the point system does work and like, people swapping. Like you're not going to always stay ranked 25, right? You're going to get pushed down to rank 40, then you're going to climb up to rank 12 and blah, 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 right? So you'll just sort of like bounce around that and then end up at rank 25 with probably like 370 million points instead of the 341, right? Same with the rank 50. I'm probably going to end up like if I'm going to put a guess at it, I'm going to probably say rank 48. I'm going to hit probably 48. And I'll probably have like 215 million points or something like that, which is well above what the estimate here for rank 50 was. But that's sort of just how I base the chart. And then I added this little section here too to see what the weight percentage is. So a normal day isn't even 5% of the total score. And then we're looking at a little over 23% for the 5x days. And then the final day is close to 35% of our total score. Whereas if we go up here, you can see, where was it? Before they added that extra day, I guess I never did one of those weighted percentages. I know I used to have another one. Might have accidentally deleted it. But there was one that showed like this day, the final day here was something like 42%, which was like a little bit ridiculous because it was just too much weighted points for that very final day on these 1 weeks. Here we go. If I would have done the percentages here, you would see what the weighting percentage is. And again, here's the live power that you can use. This is another section of live power I took just to help me make these estimates and sort of validate this chart, which by all means is not validated. It's still very rough and very much an estimate. But hopefully this helps you guys understand maybe some ranking, estimating tools. Maybe you're interested in building something yourself. By all means, you could take these numbers and plug them in. It's going to give you at least a little bit of an idea of where you're looking at. Maybe you'll find I made a math error or two, and that's why stuff is off. But for the most part, it holds fairly true, right? Like, it tells you the minimum that you need. Not that if you meet this minimum, you're guaranteed. It's just like if the person played at rank 50 the entire time, this is the score they'd have, right? But the problem is somebody, could go from rank 500 all the way up to rank 3, similar to like what Fiend for Crow is doing right now, right? And here's me down at 181. Like I'm not really playing at all at this point, but here's Fiend. He's went from like, the 1000s into position 6, right? So that's one of the things that throws the chart off, because he's now taking rank 2, accumulating a lot of points and sort of pulling himself above everybody else, and everybody else gets pushed down. So if you get 15 people that do something similar and get themselves into a better position, then that's where you get pushed down 15 rank, even though you've been sitting at that rank for a while. So that's sort of where the estimate does break down, but it still at least gives you a baseline to hopefully try and make an estimate to what points are required to achieve what rank. Especially because when it does help you see the differences, right? Like the difference between rank 100 and rank 50 is basically double the amount of points. And if we go and we take a look right now, right, so let's see, so rank 184, 184 million, and then if we scroll down to rank 100, you'll see what I mean by almost double the points. Like we're almost at 90 million here. So 184 versus 96, right? So almost double the amount of points, and that is sort of what I showed here. So he's at 96, we needed 98 to be 100. He'll probably hit 98 by the time that happens. So really it just breaks down in the top 100 a little bit, just because of the swapping of ranks. And, you know, somebody like me who was rank, live rank 5, or sorry, live rank 7-ish, 6, 7-ish area, making to total rank 11, and then just not playing for the rest of the time, and now being live rank like 181 and just slowly getting pushed down the leaderboard. But I have accumulated enough points to just sort of hold a strong position, even though my live rank at the end of the competition is abysmal compared to a lot of people that are playing consistently throughout the whole comp. But I am able to still maintain a high rank just because I was able to get enough points up front in the first 10x day, as well as the second 10x day. I was still ranking, in like the 30s. So I was able to keep a decent amount of score accumulated to be able to hold this position at the end when a lot of people are doing their buy-in. So hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of more insight into what I do or what goes on as to how the live score and the rankings work. I don't think there's anything else really to show off here other than I'm constantly under attack. But congratulations to the top 10. I think we're close to solidifying it. I'm not too sure. Maybe Edgar might get pushed out and Flacco takes him, or maybe Ocean. I don't think it's possible. Flacco's at A. The rest of these guys are all at pretty much C's. So I don't see it happening. D's, C, maybe Ocean flips Flacco. Blazius is coming in hot too. He's trying to push pretty good there. So who knows? We might have a slight shake up, but I think this might be the solidification of the top 10 there, and we'll see where I end up. But hopefully everybody enjoyed. Hopefully you pushed at least to get into the top 1,000 to get yourself the exclusive Bunny Hop skin that's coming out. And now that we are into May, or almost into May for some of us, you should be looking forward to the expeditions. I believe they said last month, April, that it's coming next month. So hopefully by the end of May, we've got expeditions on PC for us to play around with. And then in June, they should be releasing the mobile app. And we'll be getting hopefully a flood of new players coming in through mobile. Obviously not coming to PC right away, but hopefully there's some incentives through guilds and whatnot, guild management, and maybe better loot and stuff like that that's exclusive to the PC version that'll incentivize mobile players to come over. But that's all I got for you. I will do a final debrief once the dust has settled. I've got my final ranking and everything, and just talk a little bit about what's going on with hopefully some more news being obtained for the expeditions. So drop down in the comments below if you want me to maybe explain something a little bit more, if there's some questions you have, or if you want to just drop in the comments where your rank is and how you guys are doing. By all means, I'm always interested to hear what you guys are doing, what you guys are seeing when you're playing Main City, maybe some strategy questions and all that type of stuff if you have any. But thanks for watching, and I guess until the next one, have a good day.